In this demo, I would like to show how easy it is to build a ZENBU-Reports page. So I'm going to be trying to duplicate this particular page for Atrium differentially expressed genes. And I've already made this genome browser view. So the first thing I need to do is I need to create a new page. So I'm going to first need a table. And the data file of the differentially expressed genes has already been loaded into the system. So then I can edit the table and go into the data source query. I can edit the data source query, and I can search for the file that I've uploaded. That's called Atrium DE v2. It'll take a little moment to search the system, and there's my data file. So I can select it and say load on page initialization. Now, initially, the columns are mostly hidden. So now I've got to select which columns I want to show. So I want to show the gene name, the location string, the p-value. Now, actually, this is a minus p-value, so I'm going to change the title to minus log p-value. And then I want FDR, log2 fold change, log TPM, LR, TSS classifier, localization, and biotype. I'm also going to change the width of the view to 700. And I'm going to set it to 20 rows. Now, I'm also going to need the 3 category filters. So I will make 3 category filters here quick. So I'm going to share the data from the table. And then the first one is going to be localization. I'm set it to 150. Oops. $150. Share the table. The next one is TSS classifier. Set the height to an automatic. Share the table. Third one is biotype. Okay, now I'm going to put the classifiers into a column. So I'll put the TSS classifier at the top, and the localization, then the biotype. It's a little smaller. Now I can put the classifiers, or the category filters, and the table into a row together. Now I need to create the 2D scatter plot. A little bigger. And again, I'm going to share the data from the table. Now, for the x-axis, I'm going to use the log TPM. And for the y-axis, I'm going to use the log2 fold change. I'm going to create category coloring. There's a column called color. And I'm going to use a Brewer qualitative scale. Oops. And then for the x-axis, I don't need it to be symmetric. Yep. Okay. Now I can put that into the row. Now I'm also going to need the genome browser. So now let's create another column. And we can put this row on top, and then we can put the genome browser locked below it. Wider. Now we've already made this view, so we can use the identifier for this view. We can go into the Genome browser and set the view config. Accept it. Okay, now the last thing is to set up a trigger between the table and the view. So when a particular gene is selected in the table, it will change the location in the view. So we edit the configuration for the table and we add an inter-element trigger. So when a row is selected, we want to send an event to the Genome browser and we want to select the location. So now let's go ahead and filter this data a bit. So we can add a FDR filter. Right now, the FDR filter is for the loaded data was set to a max of 0.05, but let's make it a little more strict and make it 0.01. So now we've refined the data set. Now we can, we want to say that the localization is in the promoters, and TSS classifier is also promoter. And we want only the long non-coding RNAs. Now let's sort the table by p-value, and then we can find a particular gene that we like. Selecting it in the table selects the point in the graph and updates the view to that particular location. And now if we want, we can save this. Just make it private for now. And we can save the page. And now we have a page with a URL. In this case, it's just an auto-generated URL. But if we wanted to, we can load the page up. And now we've created a page. And it saves the selections that you've made when you made the page. But I can just go to a different location. And the Genome browser will update.